My name is Daedry Melendez. I'm an aspiring interior designer looking to get a start in the design world. But I have a problem. I don't have any experience. And without experience, how could I gain it? So like any other millennial, I turned to the internet, where I found tons of people doing what I wanted to do, and they were doing it on their own terms. So I decided I was going to do the same. In this series, I will be taking you room by room as I transform my rental apartment into my dream apartment. I will be filming and photographing every room in the apartment that I transform and including those in my portfolio to get a start in the design world. On this episode of Rental Rehab,
hey, it's Daedry, and welcome to my dining room. This is going to be a lot of work. This is the dining room. This is the least furnished room in the house and also the least used room in this house. And I pay about $700 of rent, and I'm not going to let it go to waste by wasting square footage. This was definitely going to be the first room that I did in this series. Now, it wasn't much in this room. I had a china cabinet that I bought from Goodwill for about $30. You know, savings where you can because furnishing can be expensive. I painted it blue, kind of gave it a whole entire new look and elevated it. Then also I had a chase from my living room sectional. It was real packed up in there, so I just brought it right in here and it opened the space up a lot more in my living room. But I did have a problem with I have a couch in my dining room, which is not normal. So when designing the space, it's kind of hard to start off from scratch. So I went onto Pinterest and I just searched up dining room and I scrolled for a couple hours because it's easy to get distracted on there. But I found a couple rooms on there that I kind of vibed with and I thought I would like. And I just saved those to a folder and I kind of just picked the ones that I liked more and did a process of eliminations, and I narrowed it down to these 3 photos right here. First photo was from the New Darlings YouTube channel and blog. If you ever heard of them, they're really awesome. Go follow them on YouTube. But they have this dining room where they have a natural wood glass table, and then they have wishbone chairs surrounding that. I really like that look. I've always liked mid-century look in general, so base most of my room on this photo here. So shout out to them. Don't sue me. And then I have a couple other photos of some banquet areas with colors that I really like, and I thought that they would give me a good starting off point for my dining room. So with the inspiration intact, I needed a plan, a floor plan to be exact. So I went into my computer and I got some things together and created a floor plan. Now I didn't need to do all the heavy measuring because I live in an apartment complex, and when I first moved in, I requested a floor plan from my rental office, and they just emailed me one, so I took that exact floor plan and then just based everything around it. When I was designing the floor plan, I knew I had the chase already, so I put that, and that was not moving, or the china cabinet, just because it was really nowhere else I can put it, so those were there to stay. I thought a round table would go best with this room just because of the design of it, and I kind of wanted a banquet seating area like you saw in the photos from Pinterest. So I was going to make my couch sort of like a bench area, push a round table to it, and then get 2 chairs on either side to balance it. I also had this big empty wall. Like I said, when you first come into my apartment, you see the dining room and it's just this empty wall with 1 window on it. It would be nice if it was 3 windows on it and letting a lot of light, but just with the 1 window, it looked kind of plain and boring, so I knew I needed to do something there, and I decided I was going to do a gallery wall. Now, gallery walls, they get expensive. First, you gotta buy the frames. Those be like $30 to $100 each. Then you got all the photos that you have to get in prints. Those can get quite pricey, so I definitely was on a hunt to try to make this as cheap as possible. So one day I was just walking around at Dollar Tree and I saw that they had frames, and I immediately went there. I knew they always had frames, but I never really went into them and looked, and I found a frame that I really liked, and I bought all of them out the store like I was cashing out. I actually asked them to call another store to see if they had some more in stock, but they didn't, so I ended up having to order it offline. I didn't even know you can order offline from Dollar Tree, but I did it. I ordered about 40 frames. I waited for them to come, and I had them. Now I had the problem of what was I going to put in those frames. So music is really special to me and my boyfriend, so I decided that I was going to make the gallery wall be kind of music themed. I bounced around on a couple ideas, but I ultimately settled on that, and what I was going to make the wall is kind of Daedry Bradley, that's my boyfriend, kind of hall of fame of our favorite musicians or such. So I went ahead and I got online and I just looked up a bunch of my favorite photos from my musicians, and I sent them through the CVS print app and just had them printed at CVS, all at a 5x7 size. That kind of did get expensive. It was about like $150 to print all of the photos out, but it was a lot less expensive than buying from a website that prints already. If I did a whole bunch of those, it would have got really expensive really fast. So I just saved me some coin. Once I had the gallery wall, I had to put it up, and I wasn't about to do some nails on the wall because when you move out, you gotta patch them up and all that. Then I found this little 3M strip, which is like a really strong adhesive double-sided strip, and I got that and I used those for the whole entirety of the wall. And then I was gonna arrange the gallery wall any kind of way, just put it up there, but my boyfriend, he has OCD and he's really particular about things, so we kind of designed it in a way where it makes sense to us, like Chloe and Hallie are or either other sides, and then we have the black and whites in the middle with color surrounding. You got Jasmine Sullivan looking at Amy Winehouse, and you got Mariah Carey and Tony on the other side, you know, like kind of like that. It makes sense to us. So now once I had the gallery wall, it was time to start shopping, and this was the longest part of the process just because your boy was trying to save some coins. He was a little broke at the time, and furniture is expensive. So I was on a spur of the moment shopping trip to World Market.
So we are at World Market right now. I'm not putting the camera on you, that's Bradley, but I was doing the dining room, but now, I was doing the office studio, but I just saw some stuff for the dining room that I wanted to do too, to kind of build up my portfolio. Got these two pillows, like kind of like a fall orange and like a furry kind of white, and then I picked up this dining table. I'll put like a clip in here, but it was originally like $400 and it's $249 right now, so I just felt like I had to get it.
It was the last one they had there, so I bought it as soon as I could. I didn't measure it before I bought it, and I definitely recommend measuring the furniture that is in your room because it's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Not the base, but the circumference of the circumference of the table is very wide. So with the wideness of the table, it's kind of makes it hard to walk around, but it still works in the room. But I definitely would have measured it if I had a second chance to go back and do that, but I probably still would have bought it anyways because $200. So with the table that I bought, I knew I needed 2 chairs to go on either side of the table. I looked around a bunch for 2 wishbone chairs because the wishbone chairs in the New Dollar Stores was really nice, and I always wanted a wishbone chair, but those are quite expensive as well. But I did find these 2 at World Market as well, and I got these at a really great discount because they were floor models. So I went over to Home Goods and I found a bunch of different accessories, and let me tell y'all, it is a science to styling a bookshelf. I wanted something else musical in the room to complement the gallery wall, so I decided to get a record player. And I found this baby blue Crossley player at Target for about $60, and I needed a table to put on top of it, and I bought this tray table a long time ago for end tables in my bedroom, but they're a little too short, so I just took that table from my bedroom, gave it a spray paint of gold, because I thought gold would just tie in really nicely with the rest of the gold that goes into the room, and I set that on top and it looks great. So that was all I had left to do for the room, and now it's time for a reveal.
I think it's bad as I shoot out a line. Saying tomorrow I think this shit is never gone. Easy big, easy wake up on. Just give as much as you take, forgive as much as you hate. Or get the fuck out. Hopping in the crowd, cooking for old out. No, just taking it slow. I'm feeling out, looking for old out. Mighty show me the door.
I was waving,
For you, boy.
and I was drowning. I was crazy,
Crazy boy.
found out, was through the house.
Okay guys, that's it for this episode of Rental Rehab. If you want to find out more about this room, log on to dxd.re, my blog, and you can find a really in-depth blog post about everything that it took to get this room together. As always, peace and blessings, and thank you for watching.